doing it wrong.
And then I'm just gonna go from there.
Yeah.
Actually, don't act natural.
Like intro, do you guys need me to say poor people?
No, you don't have to.
Hi, I'm Connor. We're on Poor People Podcast today, and damn it.
Suck in your gut just a little bit. Just dudes being dudes.
No, not the limes, the lime juice. I'm Connor. I'm the guest here on Poor People Podcast today. We're at RōCA in Des Moines. I'll be making one of our signature drinks, the El Chapo. It's basically like a strawberry jalapeno margarita. I'll be making a non-alcoholic one first for Miss Anna over there. We sell a lot of these. RōCA is kind of known for our craft cocktail program. We do like shared plates, craft cocktails, have an excellent wine selection. So we're doing a non-alcoholic version of the El Chapo. I'll be just doing a non-alcoholic tequila and then muddling it with jalapenos. When we make the regular one at RōCA, we use a house-infused jalapeno tequila. 3 or 4 jalapenos go in there, and then we just infuse it in the cooler for 48 hours or so, basically until it has a nice spice to it. RōCA has been open 10 years in October. 9 years in November is like my best estimate, sort of. Started as a barback and slowly worked my way up. Sort of leveraged that into a management position. Miss Anna's non-alcoholic version. So the El Chapo recipe is a pretty traditional margarita recipe, just with like a house-made strawberry syrup involved, and then that jalapeno infusion. Has a touch of pineapple juice in it too. For that strawberry puree, it's really simple. We basically just take strawberry, sugar, and water, heat it up, blend it. All of our syrups are made in-house. We try not to use anything preserved that we don't have to. And that's the El Chapo. You remember this drink too, right?
Yeah.
Real quick. I mean, it's just other
Stop
saying
going
that.
so fast.
Sorry.
3/4 caramel.
Application?
Like, do I just own it and put it down? Do I put it up in the waistband? Oh no, I wiped it off. Ugh, gross. Hi, I'm Mason. I'm a guest on Poor People Podcast today, and I'm going to be making a drink I've never made before.
What is it?
I don't know. Connor, how would you describe this drink?
Well, it was on the board for 2 weeks, so you should remember it.
Thank you, Chef.
What's all in it, Mason?
I've been doing a Irish whiskey for the first part, and then cardamom, delicious. Lemon. There's the money shot. And then give it a healthy shake. Double strain. Oh, if that ain't fucking perfection, bud. Apple foam.
No. You're doing this all wrong. 2 hands, always.
2 hands
Get a
always.
proper angle. And we're just gonna
Oh, God.
gently squeeze.
Oh, there's a little balloon knot there. Love that.
And we'll just be topping it with a little freshly grated nutmeg. So this drink was something me and Nathan, another bartender here, brought to a competition. The name of it is Apple of My Isle because it uses Irish whiskey, kind of just a play on the phrase Apple of My Eye. And then Ireland is known as the Emerald Isle. So just kind of that's,
Thanks, guys.
yeah, that's what I got.
That was awesome.
Patreon.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's.
are we rolling?
our-
You ready? Okay.
Oh, shit. All right.
90-year-old
Welcome to the
women.
Poor People Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
What is going on? We're here today with Mason and Connor at
Hello.
RōCA. Pretty excited to talk about. Let's just like get right into the soup of the day. What's the soup of the day?
What's
We
the
have
soup of the
soup?
day?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
the
I
drink.
pointed at you, but I
Sorry,
meant
I
you
was like, I
guys.
don't know. I didn't make any soup.
No, you're fine.
Tomato bits.
So this is the El Chapo. I absolutely love this. I never really used to drink it with a jalapeno. I'm drinking the NA. But Connor used to always make me a strawberry margarita. That was defeated the purpose of the El Chapo.
Yeah, I would make fun of her because she would order the El Chapo and say no jalapeno, and I'm like, so you want a strawberry margarita?
Well, that reminds me of when, was it back in the day at Saints, or I can't remember where, you used to order like a strawberry basil lemonade, hold the basil. or
Yeah, I
something
didn't like the
that.
basil.
Strawberry lemonade.
Well, I needed to know what it was because it had the certain ingredients. They'd probably just make me a strawberry lemonade with vodka. I wanted the dragon. Don't start.
Well,
What
and
is this?
also Anna did like basically force you guys to make this
I
as
did
well.
not.
She'd been talking about this drink for weeks.
Little forced.
There was a gun involved.
There was.
There was
There was
But
a
yeah,
lot of violence.
So the El Chapo is like a RōCA menu drink. It's one of our best sellers every month. Kind of fluctuates somewhere in between like 1 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. We just house infused some jalapenos with tequila, Cointreau, so like a fancy triple sec, pineapple juice, fresh lime juice, and then a house-made strawberry syrup. And so it really is just a margarita with a little bit of a twist, but delicious.
But it's
the
all
same.
like
It's super
homemade
good.
ingredients, though,
Yep.
like in-house ingredients.
Yeah, wherever
Yeah.
possible, we make all of our syrups. We don't really buy anything. We do all of our own infusions. So you won't see like a lot of like flavored vodkas or flavored liquors behind the bar, because if we're going to do that, we just do it ourselves.
Or we do it at Shorty's.
Well, you do your own
Or
flavored
we'd send
liquors?
people. Well, like if I want to do like a paired vodka drink, I'm either going to make like a pear syrup, or I'm going to incorporate pears some other way than just using Absolute Pear, which is actually a terrible example because that's the one flavored vodka that we have.
I was
But
really wondering where you're going with that.
yeah, I don't know why I picked pears. But ever since I took over the program, for sure, we try not to do anything.
It's been very good.
Yeah, because
Preserved.
it's a craft cocktail
Right.
restaurant.
It kind of
That's
defeats
what
the purpose.
Yeah.
To
and-
like take, if you can take a natural flavor, why are you doing it with unnatural ingredients when you can just go buy whatever you want and incorporate it?
And then you said that you did this for a competition, right?
Yeah, so that one's something that like is a little more
These fancy drinks.
my drink, or I can put my name on it. It's called Apple of My Isle, which, because the main ingredient's Irish whiskey, it's just a play on words with the saying like Apple of My Eye, and then Emerald Isle is like another, or a nickname for Ireland. So,
And so, like with the
Um,
whipped cream, you made that too, right?
well, so it's not a whipped cream, it's like a fruit foam. So yeah, the ingredients, you got the Irish whiskey, Cardamaro, which is like a sort of herbaceous Italian liquor.
Delicious.
Those are the two alcoholic ingredients in the base, and then just some fresh lemon juice and rich sugar syrup. And then the foam is just fresh, red, delicious apple juice, and sherry, like a little bit of sherry. Kind of gives it like a creamy finish. And then to get it to foam up like that, you basically just use a foaming agent that is a bunch of things I can't even pronounce.
That's super cool. So wait, you do like you make the whipped cream too?
Yeah. So
I like whipped cream.
I know you do.
you can do all sorts of foams and creams.
Weird, real quick.
On our menu, we also have like a tiramisu martini that we make like a mascarpone cheese foam. So we
Nice.
like spread out the cheese basically,
so
and then put a
good.
foaming agent into it and pump it with nitrogen.
Tiramisu is so good too.
I almost did that one as the other drink for this for this podcast, but technically it's a Buddy Jacobs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Jacob?
I said somebody's name.
No, that's fine. We can talk about him.
Get him out of here.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
I've got a buddy who like that's basically his recipe, so it didn't really feel right to come on to
Yeah.
somebody's
So
show.
then,
and-
when you guys entered this drink into the competition, like how far did it go? Did you guys like win or?
we
like,
got second place.
Nice, dude. That's
Yeah, there's like
sick.
9 competitors this year. It's ran by the Iowa Restaurant Association.
That's pretty
Um,
sick.
I've done it like 5 years total, I think.
IRA.
Haven't won it yet, but you know, we'll get them one year. I've gotten second twice now, and I usually get like best drink in one category. But
Nice.
Well,
It's a
that's a
fun time.
really big accomplishment, though, too.
Yeah,
just
for
to
real.
even say that, because we've never done any of like those competitions.
No, we're
I'm sure
we're
if you guys
terrible
did, you'd do
bartenders.
great. Oh, okay.
I've never made a drink like this ever.
That's our whole brand. Is just we're shitty bartenders. So like you're a whole step above us for sure. And it's
I
like
don't think it works like that. At all.
Well, no,
We all have-
but just the way you're able to even like craft these drinks and everything, like I mean, come up with that, I would never think like, oh, apple whipped cream with nutmeg sprinkles on top. Like that's genius. It's so good. I
Yeah.
actually need to try it though.
Yeah,
Hold on,
no, I
let me
wanna
get a
do it.
taste of this thing.
Should we, like,
No, cheers.
Cheers to the apple of my
Cheers.
eye.
Oh my God, we're gonna
Am
tap
I
it.
downing? Am I downing this whole thing?
Yeah, it's actually called the RōCA bomb,
Oh,
Oh
my
my gosh.
god.
right?
We just busted that at the same time. Holy shit, dude. This is so good.
Yeah.
Good.
I really want to just chug this whole thing.
I dare
You
you.
certainly can.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
here we go.
Here, I'll join you.
Anytime a drink's served up, I have trouble not just like chugging it as soon as it's put in front of
You
me.
like
Talk about
it?
Betty bombs,
I like it.
Betty bombs.
dude.
Oh goodness.
Do I have
No.
Cocktail on our menu,
Yeah, it is.
Hang on, just go like
and we
this.
don't sip it.
I'm just kidding.
Foam.
Just go like all of this.
I was like, Stitch. Just
Dude, that was so good.
So how many trials and errors did you guys have to do for this drink? Like how many different components did you like? How many different drinks did you make to get this specific one?
I'd probably say at least 4 for this one, to my memory. I kind of like started with the idea of apples and Irish whiskey because I had to use an Irish whiskey for the competition.
And you're kind of on
And
like a cider kick, aren't
Yep,
you?
and I mean, yeah, I do
Dude,
love
it's-
cider,
yeah, it's
so
really
it's,
good, the
kind of like
apple in that.
apple pie.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite
so
as
good.
sweet,
was that
but
sour cherry around when you started making this drink?
sour cherry. Yeah, I've been drinking that cider for
Yeah.
too long. But
So wait, there's a cider beer in this also?
no,
We're
it's
talking
just
about something else.
I drink a lot of Jefferson County sour
Oh, yeah,
cherry
yeah.
cider, so much to the point where sometimes I bring it over to
Shout
Anna's
out
work
Jefferson County. Send the check.
and make them carry it.
Yeah, he's in an apple kick. That's why I was asking where
Okay.
he like came from. And he's like, yeah, kind of.
I'm allergic to apples. There's apples in that?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Well, there isn't a phone.
I'm just like joking.
Hated.
Be a short podcast.
Just get progressively more red and
Yeah.
puffed. the
Where's
entire
Michael? Get
podcast.
That's
Dragging
funny.
him out.
Hey, look, there's my cousin. She's here.
Hi, cousin.
Jacqueline, you have to come
she's
over
real?
here now. She is real. Hold on, we have to get her on this just because we
does
talked
know
about her
people.
2 weeks ago. I do know people. My cousin is real. She is here.
No, she's not. It's a figment of his imagination.
I don't know.
She's
I also
loving
just I am allergic to apples, and then I just chugged that whole drink. So then now it's like.
Wait, are you really?
No.
God, stop doing that.
So hard to tell when you're joking.
You fell for it the second time, which is like even more sad.
You know
Get
what?
here.
What are you drinking today?
Apple of my eye.
Apple of my eye. This is my cousin
Aisle.
Jacqueline.
Aisle. Thank you.
Aisle.
Are you a
Aisle.
pastry chef? What is it exactly?
That's probably my title, yeah. Oh, hi.
Well, because I wanted to put it on earlier, but I just said chef. I just said,
Pastry.
this is our poor personal chef.
Job is now, but yeah, been a chef for a while.
Yeah.
Personal
pretty cool.
chef.
She makes
for
all
the
of our
Poor
cakes.
People podcast.
Yeah, she's our personal poor person chef.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's what I do. That is my new title, actually.
Yeah.
Poor person. Put it on
Yeah.
a resume.
She makes all of our sandwiches.
She also makes all of our desserts here at RōCA.
Yes.
They're all
Yes.
delicious.
They
Come in and
are
try them.
This is what we're
Amazing.
most concerned about.
Can we also talk about maybe just making the tres leches like a mainstay?
Yeah, we could bring that back. We could bring that
Like
back.
forever?
Yeah. Maybe for the summer we'll make like a refreshing like
Oh.
tres leches. Add some orange or something. Anyway.
I like tres
Yeah,
leches.
get her thinking. I love this.
Now we put you on the spot. This is gonna be seen by like 200,000 people. So like.
The entire world, actually.
No.
It's on the internet.
I am ripping Bomb Bar though. Oh my
Oh.
Shout out Bombard.
Nice.
Yes, shout out to
Yeah.
Bombard.
How did you get a shirt? I still don't have a
I
shirt.
know some people. I only have one shirt. What the
Okay,
fuck?
go away, Jacqueline. You're off the. You're not. On
That's not my
you.
cousin.
That's not. I don't actually know her at all.
Jaden, you do have like apple whipped cream on your nose.
Do I really? I asked you.
You
Mason
don't.
did that too.
You got it. You got it.
I could not see it. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
struggle in having the mustache. Anything with
Yeah.
foam or cream is
yeah,
so
they're like
hard.
constantly going.
Yep,
through
I just have to
funny.
check every sip.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
earlier,
those-
earlier you
Saving
did it,
for
and
leftovers.
you got it before I could say anything.
There we go.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one TikTok of the guy? He like drinks like really foamy beers, and then it's just a clip of him like clearing his mustache with his lip. Just every clip is just.
Ew.
That's the worst
Flavor
part
saver.
about having a
But it's so
mustache
funny.
and you drink beer. It
I
literally,
cannot.
it's like
I cannot.
like- I used to just be lazy and let this grow out, and like I'm not being lazy with it. This is intentional right now. But
Really?
maybe shut up.
Maybe.
But like
Get
I
him.
like
Get
having
him, Haley.
clean shaven face because I don't have to do that every time I take a sip of my fucking beer. You know, a pint might take me 10, 12 some sips, and I'm just like,
Yeah. The.
So So have you
Wait,
guys?
all three of us just did it.
It's like yawning.
Yeah, it's like
somebody talks about it.
It's funny. It's so funny.
So with making cocktail drinks here, how many sendbacks have you guys had?
Oh,
one.
approximately 8,600 over our 10 years. I'm just kidding. I would,
Like on an
you know, I
average,
mean,
like
it definitely happens, and when people send back a drink because they don't like it and they send it back right away, like
If
it's
you
just
don't
like
like a
food.
drink, you don't like a
Yeah.
You
drink.
kind of
You
just
don't
that's just part of
know-
the gig.
Yeah.
You don't always know what you're ordering. You know, like some of the ingredients on our cocktail menu, people are like, I don't know what the fuck that is. You know,
Right, or even sometimes we encourage people to try something that they normally
Right.
wouldn't,
Oh,
and then
dude.
if they hate it, we're not going to be like,
The-
sorry, choke it down and give
The
us
honeybee,
$13.
I
You know?
think,
Yeah.
is the best drink on our fucking menu. And
Wait, what drink?
The Glenwood Honeybee.
Okay.
I think it was one of your creations.
Yeah, it's like a beer. It's a really good like summer beer
Whiskey,
cocktail.
beer cocktail,
Yeah. Nice.
and it's fantastic. It's complex, and I love it.
But there's
but like I recommend that to everybody. But I also, when I recommend it nowadays, I just like it's not for everybody. The Galliano really throws everybody off most
Right.
of the time. So like I have people like that'll be like, yeah, I'll get that because you recommended it, and then they're like, yeah, I just don't like it that much. I think it's maybe like one ingredient in there, the Galliano, that throws people off. But it's not that. I don't know. I don't.
What even
get
is
it.
that ingredient?
It's
an
Italian.
Italian liqueur, yeah.
Okay.
How
What's it
many
called?
Italian
A-
liqueurs are we going to talk about tonight?
A
Man,
Galliano
there's like
is what
7
it's
up
called.
there. So,
What's it called?
Galliano.
Galliano.
Yeah.
have you ever heard of a Harvey Wallbanger? Does that ring a bell at all or no?
Wall bangers.
I
Banging
can't.
on
I think
walls.
that's.
I don't know where that was.
I'm pretty sure that's just Galliano and orange juice, to my memory. But
Okay.
there,
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like the only thing that you might have heard of.
It's a liqueur?
Slight-
Kind of sweet, with some bitter notes, but overall pretty sweet. Maybe kind of like creamy. I don't.
know.
That might not be the
Doesn't it
right
have
word to
kinda
call
like
it.
an anise note. To it?
Yeah, definitely some licorice in there,
Yeah.
or not licorice, but anise
Not
is the proper.
Twizzlers.
Yeah, anise is the proper term, but
Yeah.
common like taste notes. You're gonna think licorice.
Yeah. But not like fucking Sambuca or anything. Like
Yeah.
That. It's not quite that.
Yeah, I
intense.
just like that's like an
No.
acquired taste for sure
No,
for some
it's-
people.
Yeah, not nearly
that's when I warn people. I'm like, look, it's not for everybody just because of the Galliano, and there's such a small amount in there. What's it, like 3/4?
Yep.
Yeah, there's such a small amount in there, but still, like that comes through, and people are just like, ugh, sometimes.
Yeah.
But that is
I mean, or it could be-
actually my favorite cocktail on our menu, and I recommend it every time.
But yeah, as far as like sending drinks back go, we're always really understanding of it, especially if they didn't
We
like
don't
chug
really
half the
get-
drink
we
and
don't
then
really get
try
a
to
shit
send it
ton
back.
either.
Well, and people are here. They have patience though too, because this is again a cocktail bar. So when
Yeah,
you are
it's a
actually
nice place,
when you're
Well,
making the
If you can't
cocktails and
tell by this
everything.
wall of wine behind us.
You'd hope they have patience. Sometimes. they
Well, I
don't.
mean,
So-
you want a
Water finish.
nice cocktail, though. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
you're gonna take your time making it, and so people, hopefully when they send it back, they feel really sorry for sending it back because it may take, I don't know, 10 minutes depending on how busy you are. Like, how long does it even take you to make an actual decently
depends on
craft
the
cocktail?
night.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right, totally
yeah.
varies. I would say overall we have a pretty quick like ticket time for drinks. The biggest variation is going to be like, is the restaurant filling up all at once, and then everybody's wanting cocktails, right? Like, do you have a full restaurant and you're only 50-50 cocktails versus wine and beer? Or is it one of those nights where, like, RōCA's known for cocktails, and so everybody in the house wants El Chapos and smoked old fashions, and
How, like on average, how long do you think it takes to make like your standard cocktail?
I would say we get over 5 minutes pretty rarely.
Yeah,
Probably
Yeah.
like
that's
consistent.
impressive, dude. There's a lot of ingredients in these.
Yeah, and so like honestly, we batch a lot of cocktails where we'll
And
mix
that's,
like all
that's
the
been a pretty recent thing too.
yeah, kind of a more
But
recent
it's
development.
helped out a ton. Yeah.
Yeah, it really helps like anytime that you're a little shorter staffed than you, and like you're busier than you anticipated. It's just an extra thing to help you not have to pick
Yeah, get your-
6 different bottles up on every
Right.
single drink.
Yeah.
And you don't batch the entire cocktail either. You put the liquors together, the things that aren't going to go bad, and then you keep like syrups and citrus for the most
stuff
part
like that, yeah.
separate and add that as needed.
So when you batch cocktails, like you're just making a ton of it all at once and then like putting it into like a jug or something.
Yeah, so we just have stripped wine bottles basically,
Yeah.
750
Gotcha.
milliliter bottles. We'll batch out 40, 50 of a cocktail on a busy night. Might not go through all that in one night necessarily, but
But it stays good enough good long enough for us to. We'll go through.
Because it's
these
basically
yeah.
just mixing the
Literally all
liquors
place.
together so that it's at least one less bottle to grab in the moment. Liquors, and then you can also do the syrups, like simple sweeteners, honey, that kind of stuff can go
Yeah.
in the batch too. But anything that spoils, you keep separate.
Okay. Yeah, that's like what we talked about, what would be our highest level of bartending for each of us. And I said mine would be making craft cocktails because it's made a certain way. And sometimes I don't have the patience. I just want to throw it all together because you want to have consistency of your drinks tasting the same. But sometimes not everyone's going to make the same cocktail the same way because they either get busy or like they miss a step or like, you forget to muddle something and you just throw it in there and you shake it and then,
Yeah, I mean, consistency is definitely one of the hardest things to control
Yep.
behind a bar making a lot of cocktails.
Yep.
Making sure that all your staff are doing everything exactly the same. I mean, even when you're like, with us making our syrups, if the bartender who made that syrup did it a little differently, then all of a sudden that syrup's proportions are off and doing an ounce of that syrup or
All
whatever.
it takes is one strawberry.
Okay, let's
To
calm
fuck
down.
everything up.
Flashback.
Is that really all it takes? It's just
No.
one
No.
small ingredient? I wouldn't
Definitely
know,
not
dude.
with- definitely
I
not
like
with
crack
something
like
like that.
Bush Lights and like.
Well, and all cocktails are different too. Like there's certain drinks where there's a little bit of leadway, right? Like honestly,
Yeah.
like the El Chapo, if I am a little short on my strawberry syrup or a little heavy, you're probably not going to notice much of a difference. But if you take like a Manhattan and I do completely different proportions of whiskey and vermouth, the
Half-
only
half
two
whiskey
ingredients,
and vermouth.
right? Or if
Yeah.
I do 8 dashes of bitters instead of
Yeah.
the 1 or 2 that you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
Right.
it's going to be a whole different drink at that point.
So then, in terms of like when people send drinks back, like how often do you think is it just like where they don't like the drink, or that like they're like, oh, this is wrong?
It's hard-
I think, sorry,
go
most
ahead.
often in my experience it's not that this is wrong. It's like they're like, like I said,
not my flavor.
They were like, I don't really know what I'm ordering, but this sounds kind of nice,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody recommended it per se, and then they get the cocktail, it's made right, and they're just like, it's not really my flavor. I don't love it. You
Yeah.
know? And that's where like they're like, I'd rather get something else.
Well, because that's what I was wondering is like you guys put so much preparation into these drinks already, so it's like it's almost I feel like once you are like learning those drinks and everything, it's almost harder to like fuck them up than it would be to like.
I mean, in
Instead of,
Connor and I's
like, flavor.
experience, probably like a
Mistakes
little
happen
harder
You guys are
across the
fucking
board, yeah, I
professionals.
mean-
Mistakes do
dude.
happen across the board, but like, I mean,
It'd be a minor
just-
mistake, right? Because your
well,
ingredients are
just
so.
like you guys are speed tenders, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's all muscle memory. It is the same thing for us. I mean, like you
You hit a certain point, you know
hit
where
a
everything
certain
is.
point where you're like, oh, that's 3/4 of an ounce, or like maybe not that exact, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
I always wondered that because I feel like once you
Like we do know what we're doing.
right.
Yeah,
No, absolutely.
not
I
to
wasn't questioning
sound
that.
like a
I'm
dick,
saying
but
more
yeah.
like
Oh,
I
you know what
don't
you're
know what
doing.
I'm doing. So like when I'm trying to remember
Dick.
drinks, it's more like it's more like I'm
Not you,
trying to.
her.
Oh, well, yeah, duh.
Keep going though. I'm
But no,
sorry.
I was saying like when I make like cocktails or whatever, it's not as much like there's not as much preparation. It's just like whatever liquors and then whatever mixers, and so I feel like
That's
those.
the fun part about it sometimes.
Right. But I'm just saying like I feel like, and I don't remember any of my recipes, to be honest. Like I have to look at the book like almost every single time to see what's in it, and then yeah, I'm not good, dude.
That just brings me back to
yeah, exactly.
that just brings me back to the other day. I made like we have these, can't remember what the brand is, but these non-alcoholics.
just like average
Yours.
people.
No. Sorry, non-alcoholic. Like
So they weren't
Just like
bartenders?
not any of us.
he was a
basically.
regular old dude.
Yeah, he, like,
I remember
didn't-
now.
He came in and he only had one drink with his dinner. It was fucking crazy.
It's insane. I've never
It was
seen
insane.
it. No, I made a non-alcoholic drink with like a non-alcoholic liquor that we've got a couple of those, and he was just like, I love it, and he asked me to make another one, and I was like, fuck, I don't know what I.
Oh, like he wanted something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He wanted the same thing, and I was like, shit, I don't remember what I did.
Yeah, that is the hard part when somebody asks you to wing something and you literally
Yeah.
wing it and don't really put much thought in it. You're like,
Wing it
hopefully this is
again,
good.
give it a completely different.
You're like,
drink.
dude, I don't even remember what I started with.
I don't even remember who you
I'm
are.
just honest and be like, honestly, I don't know what I did there.
I'll
Let
do
me
my
know if
best.
it tastes okay. I'll try it again.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
I think I say that more often than not, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be honest about it. Yeah, I'll be like, let me know if that's not the same as the first one.
Well, I mean, and like they say to wing it, so that's I'm gonna wing it. So there it is. There you go. And then I'll wing another one, and we'll probably like that one as well. And then I'll probably try to remember that one the next time.
That's the hope. Yeah, that they like it.
Sorry.
So wait, okay, what are your like positions here? Because aren't you guys on different levels?
Yeah, so I'm the bar manager, pretty much acting assistant general manager at this point. And then Mason's
A bartender.
a bartender.
So he's your
and he-
boss.
yes.
You can stop.
Yeah,
right
he knew
there.
he knew exactly where that
A
was going.
bartender.
And Mason does a lot for me.
I like to say I take care of shorties at this point. But,
Right.
you
Okay,
know,
so you're
there's-
primarily down as shorties.
It's like his focus.
I like to be, and yeah, that is my focus. Yeah, I try and take care of the place, get everything going, keep it organized, clean. You know, liquor orders, beer orders, stuff like that. I've been trying to take some of that off of his plate. So that's basically that. Yeah.
So you're primarily downstairs at Shorty's, but then you also come up here to RōCA and bartend as well.
Yeah,
just
so
not as often.
RōCA's where I started. Like he literally we were at Tonic drinking one day, and I was like, yeah, I was working at Guapo's, which is now closed down, but I was like, yeah, I got like Tuesdays and Wednesdays off or whatever, and he was just like, well, you want to come work at RōCA? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. And so I just started coming in, working, regular days, and then those over the years, those hours have switched tremendously. I mean, I don't even work Tuesdays and Wednesdays anymore, ever. Since I trained other people and they took those shifts, which is great, fine.
Yeah.
Because they could do that more regularly than I could.
Well, you kind of have like a hybrid role, I feel like, because for those who don't know, RōCA is like a restaurant bar, and then in our lower level,
It's fancy
we have like
up
a
top and somewhat fancy down below.
yeah, we call it a somewhat fancy bar, but it's definitely the dive bar in our basement. I mean,
Yeah, business in the
and so
front,
it's
party
whole
in the back.
different, entirely different scenes, right? So it's really
Good way of
fun.
putting it.
Business on top, party at the bottom.
No, I just did the mullet. I mean,
It's gonna be
Better
the new.
way.
It's gonna be the new Shorty's bar.
business in the front, party in the back.
No, that's pretty cool though, because this is my first time inside RōCA, and I've been in Shorty's a couple times, and
Yeah.
we were just there 2 weeks ago. So it's like it's cool to see like the similarities, but also the differences in both places. I mean, they do fit really well together, honestly.
Right. It's one of those things that like you say it out loud and it sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But it just kind of works.
Yeah,
It
and I
does,
feel like
yeah.
the customers kind of end up appreciating that as well at the end of the day.
90% of the time, yeah. You know, it comes with its struggles for sure.
For sure does. But yeah, like a lot of people are like, oh, they get pushed down to Shorty's because they're so busy upstairs, and then you can get the same food down there, and it's just a bartender down there, and it's chill, it's quiet,
Sometimes.
Right, or like we don't play sports up here at all. The TVs that we have literally are just hooked up to a DVD
Not
Just
a
like
single
Lifetime
receiver
player, and
upstairs.
we just play like Charlie Chaplin movies and
No way.
And
no,
that's-
yeah, and so but
that's
we don't
it.
even have the option to hook them up to DirecTV or anything. I mean, obviously we could do it, but
You're
we
just playing
don't.
silent films up here.
And so
That's
anytime
pretty
somebody
cool.
wants to watch sports, we can tell them like you can go down to Shorty's and eat our food.
You can get
but
the
it
fuck
like-
out of here if you want to watch
no,
sports.
it's the nice thing is we don't have to tell them to fucking go somewhere else. I can just be like, I've got
I
this
say it every
option, and
time.
Sports?
you can.
Freak out.
How dare you?
Absolutely not.
Wasn't there like a month though where like Jay was putting back when it was Jay, name drop.
Uh-oh.
Nobody knows a Jay.
No, it's fine. No, it's
Not a
fine.
single Jay. In
You're
the
talking
world.
about me. I'm Jaden.
You used to be our GM. I remember that.
I was real good.
He was putting it on like YouTube for a while.
Yeah, I mean we've done all sorts of stuff with the
They are
TVs.
smart TVs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you come in here,
Are we going anywhere with that one, or?
No, I should probably
no,
stop there.
no,
just
yeah.
So customers
Anna, do you
don't
have
come in here
anything?
and be
Do you
like,
have anything we'd like to move into? All this.
Whoa, that I would like to move into? What are well, I mean, like you already like said it. You guys are known for your cocktails, and then like what? So, and like food. We want to talk about our food. What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Food wise?
Yeah, food wise. What are you known for?
What do you recommend?
So I mean, it's as far as what we're known for, it's hard for me to just say like a dish because the whole concept is kind of just the shared plates thing.
Yeah.
If we were all sitting at a table right now, we'd order 5 or 6 things and
all
just
of
eat
everything.
it all. And then if we wanted to order a few more, we would.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of keep ordering shared plates until you're full. But as somebody who eats by himself in the back, huddled over a heat lamp,
7,000
usually,
calories a day. Yeah.
I'd probably have to just pick our beef tenderloin. It's just a really good cut of steak.
Yeah,
The guys in the back really know how to cook it.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, some greens.
I have no complaints. Like, everything that I've eaten here is absolutely exquisite. I've never had anything I didn't like. The only thing that I don't like is that you took the chicken marsala off the menu.
Oh, we both thought that was going somewhere else.
You guys are funny.
years now.
There's not really.
They
anything I
bully
don't
me.
like, but the one thing
They
I don't
bully
like
me.
is
They bully me.
I liked the marsala. Honestly, I mean, that's probably is the hardest thing is when we switch our menu and there's something that I really liked, but I have to just accept that change is good.
How often do you think you switch your menu?
So we never do, like, it's not like we ever take the entire menu and gut it, right? There are things that are just going to stay. We've got, like, root beer-based
there are
pork
definitely
sliders
things we
that have been on
can't
our
take off.
menu forever, and if we took those away, our regulars would riot. I'd say the deconstructed ribeye nachos are at the point where if we tried to get rid of those, people would be upset.
Oh, I totally forgot about the nachos.
Deconstructed nachos?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a way to say we never put them together.
It's not a plate of nachos.
Yeah. You get 'em-
Imagine
It's like a charcuterie
All your
board with
stuff on
tortilla
the
chips.
side.
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
charcuterie board of everything that you would put on a big old plate of nachos, but it's all separate
Gotcha.
little piles, and so
Nice as like a shared.
yeah, you
Yeah.
get to,
Yeah.
Yep.
you get to build your own perfect bite every time. So like, if you don't like pico and guac, you don't have to fucking put that on there.
Well, my favorite part about it is I don't know about anybody else, but when you get nachos at a restaurant, you get them and they're really good when you get them, and then 5 minutes later they're
Sogged up.
soggy. All the good bites are gone, and you're just eating soggy chips or dry chip, or
So
like chips
it's
with nothing
just
on
sad.
them. Yeah.
What you guys have is like pretentious like chips and queso.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Chips and
Chips and queso. Wow, it's hard for me to
chips
get
and
that
queso with some steak, and give us $26 if you want to break it down that way.
I'm just kidding.
No,
No,
I mean-
it sounds really good, and it's actually genius too because there's a lot of people that like if you order nachos, like at my restaurant, anyways, the nachos come like that. It's all just like a pile of chips, cheese,
Right.
beef, and all that.
And there's nothing. I mean, I make
No,
those at
no.
home sometimes.
But it's like nice because like if it is a shared plate with everybody, I mean you can pick and choose what you want to do. So, like
Right.
you said you build your own bite.
Yeah,
which
you
is
hate-
like,
Yeah.
You hate
That's insane.
jalapeno.
That's-
You
yeah.
hate jalapeno, but I love it. We don't have to say no jalapeno.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just you just don't put it on your.
exactly. Yeah.
I love when I do low key love when people are like, "Can we get this on the side for the nachos?" And I'm like, "It's all on the
It's
side."
it's in the name, man. Like,
dumb, stupid.
And
No.
that makes it easier. That makes it easier.
I don't say it like that.
I know.
Absolutely not.
They're
You
not
might
like me
think
in
it.
here.
No,
They're not like
actually-
me in here.
These are genuine gentlemen here.
Oh, like when Annie used to come to Guapo's and get our chicken taco, but like just chicken and cheese.
Which I think we're gonna save Guapos for the Patreon. So if you want to see
Fair
that
enough.
story, we'll talk about about Guapos on Patreon. You can subscribe to us on Patreon there and see that story.
Sorry about that.
no, it's fine. No, that's what we want. Is you want to like mention it so then we can go on and people are like, oh, I want to hear that story.
So then how long is the bartending prep? Is it
I mean,
super
on average,
excessive?
we get here. On average, we get here 2 hours early before open. I guess I should say. And I would say, if you're being efficient and good with your time, you can usually be 100% done with prep by the time the doors unlock. But sometimes it's longer.
Sometimes it depends on the day.
And then there's also, I mean, there's days where I mean, at least when I was doing a good chunk of the prep, I would get here at like noon and just do one long day for the whole week. All about like efficiency and whatnot. Obviously, like if I was to try to train somebody today on how to do it, it's going to take them a lot longer than me and Mason, who have been doing it and know exactly where everything is and like, most of the proportions by memory,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Do you guys have to like make like a lot of the juices and all that stuff before, like as part of your prep?
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
so like lemon and lime, yeah, we juice that. We get cases and cases per week, and so yeah, we're juicing not quite every day, but like a lot of weeks there are sometimes where it is every day.
Yeah, I mean, lime and lemon juice last at maximum 72 hours. We usually try to go no longer than 48.
Yeah, and we
Ooh,
generally
that's
go
great.
through it.
And so I'd say every other day we're juicing lemon or lime. For certain features, we'll do other juices too. Like right now, we're juicing cucumbers. That
Oh,
only lasts.
whoa.
That shit is so good though.
It's
didn't
so
even know you
good,
could
but it
do
only
that.
lasts
So good.
literally
I
like
hate
it starts to
cucumber, like,
get
as a
funky at 24 hours.
Oh.
And so you have to do it every day if you have it on the menu.
Yeah.
Even if you don't use it, like you juice a cucumber, it makes like 8 ounces of juice roughly.
Yeah.
And
So how many cucumbers do you guys need?
you know, right now not a lot.
Shitload.
We're not for that specific drink. We're not super busy, so we're just juicing one a day, and we haven't ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just dump it out.
That's crazy. I didn't even know you could juice a cucumber, dude.
You gotta have a special juicer.
I did it.
Juicer,
A special juicer for cucumber. A
Well,
cucumber
not,
juicer.
no, like a juicer that can do things that aren't citrus, right?
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, there's like the standard juicer that like Tonic has one for
Yep.
oranges where you can do
Oh,
like
of
oranges,
course,
lemons,
Tonic has a
limes.
cucumber juicer.
No, they
No,
don't.
dingleberry.
No, it's you can juice anything in said juicer.
I'm so sorry.
It's a magic
I'm so
juicer.
sorry, dude. I wanted to say that so bad.
Yeah, no, that is the
was
brand. Yep.
joking.
Intrusive thought
know-
one.
Like,
The
You know I love
intrusive
you.
thought one.
The intrusive thought one.
Cookie.
Go ahead and let them have their moment.
Oh my god, my face is so red right now. I can feel it.
Oh, is it bringing it back to why you're
Yeah.
fingering
So
my
funny.
phone? Why are you fingering my shit? Get out of here.
That was so funny.
Yeah, she said it, not me.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm back.
Hi. Sorry. I
Hi.
really like
We're
how your
back.
guys' kitchen is super small because no one really knows about like how this building is tall.
Right.
So like you don't have that like
Should just transition to a whole new thing.
talking about juicing, but you guys wouldn't know that.
No, I know what we're talking about because they can't juice in the back of their kitchen. Their kitchen is literally how big is the kitchen?
They just have to juice in the bathroom.
No, they have to juice upstars. There's an
Well,
upstairs to
we
this
don't want to
building.
say that out loud in the podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll cut that out.
As long as we make sure it's a joke,
Yeah,
we do not
no,
juice
it's of
in our
course a joke.
bathroom.
Tonic is where you get juiced in the bathroom.
I juice in the bathroom.
I can't.
Okay.
Total joke. Okay, sorry. Get your guys' minds out of the gutter.
The glute's
Seriously.
better than the thigh.
Well, oh my god.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
Level
sorry.
down.
Back to normal.
No, so like they do all their preparation. Like their kitchen is super small. So like I mean, obviously you guys walked through there, and you'll see that like it's only meant for like the wait staff station and then the kitchen itself where they actually make their food.
Yeah.
But there is an upstairs to this building. Now there is not an
did not know that.
upstairs to Tonic, but there is a business. There's a financial business up there, and then that's where they go to do all their food prepping. So their kitchen isn't wider; it's just higher. Is that how would you describe
Essentially,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've got a prep kitchen upstairs where a lot of the prep work is done, and then our tiny little kitchen is where our 4 to 5 cooks somehow pump out
So much
Every-
food.
so much
Yeah.
food
It's
in
wild.
an insane amount of time.
Well, I don't know if you were already mentioning this because my brain was kind of a fog there, but you guys
Yeah.
do all the food for Tonic, right?
Well, I mean,
Sometimes.
so like I wouldn't describe it that way. Tonic doesn't have food, right? But they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're our next door neighbor, and
Right.
so
Very good friends. You can get.
We
food
work together
from
on a
here
lot of
over
things.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they
Maybe
normally
just a
like
big
for
party over there
caterings, they do
yesterday.
caterings over
yeah, we
at
just
Tonic.
did one. We just did one yesterday.
Yep.
You guys have done the caterings for like the drag brunches and stuff too.
Yep. Yeah, that's a relatively new thing. I think we've done. Well, we did one way back when they started, and then we just did the last 2. I think now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have our cocktail book in the back. It has a RōCA QR code. So like if you would want to do an online order.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Unfortunately, like people ask me like, "Hey, like, can we get food? Can you order it for us?" I'm like, "No."
It's not quite that integrated.
Yeah, I wish it was something like that, but it's not because then I would have to go and grab the food. That's the only the downside of it is because if I were to do that, I would have to go over to grab their food, and I wouldn't even be able to do that because I'm sometimes the only person there.
Well,
so
and in a perfect world, we would just have a little like
window, yeah.
Dude, I feel like there is a place somewhere in this wall. Where
Don't
we
give any
could
ideas.
We're
on
not
it.
bringing up hypotheticals
get
Yeah.
us
right now.
out.
Just
We
stick
could
it out
So-
this wall during the podcast.
So
I do
yeah,
have a
no.
hammer.
The people get their to-go food if the actual online ordering is happening because you guys do get busy on the weekends and or during, let's say, the Civic Center because you guys get a lot of Civic Center people, right? Shows?
Yes. Yep. Like anytime the Civic Center's right down the street from here. Anytime there's like a Broadway show happening there, we're really busy and we'll fill up at 5:30 on the dot, and everybody needs to go because they have to go to this Broadway show at 7, and they don't want to close out early because they want to have one more drink, right before they leave, and then they're all mad, or not mad, but everybody is very pressed to get their check closed at 7 o'clock, and they all feel self-important, even though they can see everybody else in the restaurant is also doing the same thing.
How often do they have shows there? Like, is it like once a week that they like it fills
So
up and clears out?
the big ones. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
you're fine.
either.
You're fine.
The big ones are they'll run for anywhere for like a week at a time. Up to 2.5 weeks is like the longest I've seen for like Hamilton, Moulin Rouge, the really name brand ones.
So and this place will just fill up
for every day for those weeks, and 5:30 will be every seat's full, and then at 7 o'clock it looks like a ghost town. It's weird.
Wild.
Anybody like when there's people like sitting at the bar who aren't going to the show, like business people in town who are just grabbing dinner, they're always like, what just happened? Are you guys good? Like, did I miss a fire alarm or something?
So you guys like prepare for that and like keep track of the shows that are coming?
100%.
Like, other bartenders on?
Yeah, so I'm RōCA's event coordinator too, and part of that is just knowing what's in town.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've got a whole calendar with everything Wells Fargo does, everything the Civic Center does.
Dang, yeah.
If I ever forget to put something on that calendar, it almost always bites me in the ass because I'll book a big group or something on a Civic Center night, and then half of them don't show up, and we lose out on all those seats or that kind of thing. So it's definitely super important to pay attention to what's going on in town here.
Yeah.
Especially because we're not the biggest restaurant. Our main dining area is 54 seats. Bar top's 18 seats.
And then there's
You get another 16 in that cocktail lounge and about another 30 downstairs. So every seat full in the house, we're still only talking 120 people or so.
Do you take reservations then if
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Okay, so then like whoever gets the reservation, that's what for the Civic Center that they're going to be coming in here.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Civic Center nights are absolutely the day you're going to walk in here, and if the bar top's already full, the answer is going to be just no. Or, do you guys have a wait? Yeah. You can come in at 8 o'clock while we're going to the Civic Center show.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not eating here.
Okay.
Do people, because it is kind of a smaller bar, do people like rent out the whole space like often?
Definitely not often,
Not
just
often,
because
yeah.
our cost is going to be too high for most people,
yeah.
right?
Like especially if you're wanting. Like,
Not for
food
us
and
though.
stuff.
Not for us poor people.
Well, like, I mean,
we've had it
never
happen.
rented it out for just like a happy hour type of deal. Have we? Like, it's got to be like.
It would have
food
to be like a
included,
perfect
right?
scenario, right? Like I'm not
Yeah.
going to shut down from 4 to 6 to the public unless you're going to
Exactly.
spend a good amount of money, because normally
Yeah.
we would be filling up at 5:30 or so.
Right.
So people, I mean, it's been done. People have bought out the whole restaurant before. We actually have one during a Civic Center. It's like 60 people that are going to the Civic Center, and they wanted to book the whole main restaurant.
That's
Damn.
wild.
And I think I told them, I was like, for those 2 hours, it's going to be a $6,000 food and beverage minimum. And they said, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, they said, all right.
Yeah.
We'll
It's like
take
we're
it.
going to the Civic Center. Duh.
Chump change.
That's
Yeah.
nothing.
Like, that's what we spent on our tickets. You don't think we're good with spending on that in there?
That's what I spend on groceries a year.
That's just, it's exciting. It's exciting to have like just this little part, and then you know how well to run it though too. You know, like how you said, if you never put like an event on there, it bites you in the ass because you've learned multiple times like, shit, I should have done that. You know, so.
Yep, trial and error. It's definitely a huge learning process.
Oh, for sure, especially in the service industry in general. I mean, for any job, you know, you have to have the experience happen first, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that again. That was not fun.
Yep. That's all you can do is learn from
Oh,
your
yeah.
mistakes, really, right?
Oh yeah, running
A
around
lot
with
of
your head
times,
cut off.
especially in this industry, I feel like you don't have anybody like telling you what to do. A lot of
There's no
times
real,
it's
like,
just trial by fire.
coach or
And it's by
mentor,
experience,
you
yeah.
know, it's trial and error. It's like you just figure it out for yourself sometimes.
I don't know how many times I've trained people and just like, yep, go take these 3 tables.
Yeah. Tell me if you have any questions.
Yeah. So then, okay, in terms of like learning, like how long did it take you to like get to the level that you're at as a bartender, like Connor, for like, and you too, Mason. I was talking
Well.
because I just remember one of the reasons I like specifically wanted you on this podcast was because I remember like asking you, I think you made a whiskey sour of some sort. And I don't know the ingredients to that because apparently there's more than fucking 2 ingredients.
Well, that's not necessarily true. There's just multiple variations of a whiskey sour.
But I remember you like posted a picture of it or something, and I was just like, dude, that is so cool. Like, what's the recipe? And you gave me this whole in-depth recipe, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
That's not a whiskey sour.
It's like a beaten like egg whites and like all that, and yeah, I was just like, holy shit. So like, how long do you think it took you to get to that level where you could like make your own craft cocktails or like do that stuff? Because I mean, this is the first and only like bartending job you've had. So then, yeah, I mean, you learned it all here.
Yep.
You know, so
I mean, I grew up here.
Yeah.
I think can't remember when we talked about it. I think I might
it
have
was
said
a
something
couple
earlier.
years ago. Yeah.
But so I mean, I started here when I think I was technically not even 18, and they just let me bar back, even though That wasn't supposed to happen at the time.
we can get that out.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, I started right when I turned 18, actually. And I'm 26 now, and I mean I'm still learning every freaking day.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
Bro, what the fuck?
So like 8 years, 9
You don't
years
know your friend's
roughly
age?
to like learning all
Yeah.
these
Yep. It'll be 9
younger
years
than
to
me.
my best memory. It's like 9 years this
Yeah.
November that I would have
was
worked my
just a
first
year.
shift here. It was super part-time, just bar backing.
That's actually
at
funny
first.
because at my job too, this November is going to be my 9th year.
There you go.
Yeah, so
That's-
like we would have started at these jobs at the same time. Just mine was like way it's just speed bartending.
Way lax.
I don't know why people-
Very lackadaisical.
But I don't know why people always say like it's just speed bartending, because it's not just
You're right.
speed
you're right.
bartending.
It's-
It comes with its
Yeah.
it comes with its own challenges, though.
Absolutely.
I promise you, you put you and me behind a speed bar right now, and you're gonna smoke me. Like I'm gonna be sweaty and anxious and nervous
Damn,
and
dude.
hate it.
No.
And you're probably gonna be Jaden and comfortable and having a great time. Like, yeah, dude, I'll get you a margarita.
And then you're like,
I'll do
wait,
my
there's
best."
not nutmeg on this Busch Light.
What the shit? But
Yeah.
it'd be the same thing, vice versa. Like if you put Connor and Jaden behind our bar. At
Oh
RōCA,
yeah,
you'd
absolutely.
be
Right.
I'd be struggling
in the
hard.
weeds. Yeah, you'd be
But
done.
and
for.
that's because there's different skills that are needed for each
Right.
job, right? Like I had
Well, it also varies
speed bartenders
from
are so good under pressure.
bar to bar. You know, your
They can
well is
handle, like,
different
anything
than
that you
any
throw
other
at 'em, really.
bars.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of different variables in it. I think. So yeah, you can compare the two, but
I mean, it's just
They're just
like,
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just is
Yeah.
different. Like it's I don't know. For me, like even when you guys were making the drinks earlier and you were like putting it through like the sifter or whatever that thing is, like I think one of our first drinks that we made, we had to do a drink like that. It was a Presbyterian or something, and it was. I just remember being like, what what? Why are we double straining it? You know, and then just like
Oh,
the
double
thought
straining.
process of like.
Double straining is huge, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Well, especially like to
It
get all the pulp
makes a
out and
huge
everything,
difference.
and yeah, and even the way I was paying like a lot of attention, I guess, to the way like you guys like shook the can on the strainer and everything like that. Like that seemed like a normal, like a something you would have like trained on, basically.
Yeah. I think especially with like form and stuff, people just
Yeah.
have their own thing that works. It's all about just trying not to look like an idiot while you're up there shaking as hard as you can.
that's literally
Try
the
to keep
hardest
the angry face away.
part.
People always tell you to smile. It's so hard to smile while you're shaking the crap out of a cocktail.
Shaking the shakers.
It's like, do you
Well,
want
they're
me
doing
to?
it like this too, but like one of these days I'm gonna
Yeah.
shake something and I'm gonna like shake it next to my face, try to do something that your guys are doing, and then it's just gonna go all over my face.
Oh, you've never had that happen before?
Not yet.
It's the worst.
It is
a
the
lie.
worst.
You've
Money
had that
shot.
happen, right? There you
I'm
go.
so sorry, dude. You're teeing me up, dude.
You're picking on me all day.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
I think if you've never shaken a drink
My
and
face
had
is
some
so
of
red
it
right
spill
now.
all over you, I don't think you've been bartending long.
Oh
enough.
yeah.
Shut up.
Same thing with kegs too.
I
or,
was a
like-
bartender before you. Way before you.
You ain't
So
been
you-
bartending long enough.
I'm gonna stop saying stuff.
Stop picking on Anna.
I know.
It's just easy.
I'm stopping now.
Wait, hang on. You gonna say something about that?
No.
Okay.
Not anymore.
All right.
I do.
What other topics do we got on here?
Well-
We're hitting a lot of good stuff here. Honestly, this is. I love this conversation.
I
This is
just
really good.
like how you guys got this job. Like you got this job because you knew Connor, but you also kept coming down here. So originally how Mason came downtown was because I
Please
worked at
tell my story.
I worked at Saints, and he was coming in because you were friends with Amanda, right? You're still friends with Amanda. He's friends with Amanda. Amanda, one of my
Nobody knows
friends.
who Amanda is.
Okay, this girl.
Except for Mason.
I've never known an Amanda in my life. What is an Amanda?
You were throwing me underneath
Is
the
that
bus.
a liquor?
Yes, it is. Anyways, so
Italian liqueur.
I worked there out in Waukee, and he would come down because two of my other coworkers came down and started working at Tonic, and so then Mason kept coming down to see us, and then we started going over here because of another coworker that worked at Tonic, doesn't work there anymore. She would come over here as well because she used to work down at Shorty's. So that's how like we got into just the groove of things and the group of people that we became friends with because, you know, yes, we are neighbors to RōCA and Shorty's, but we're friends with a lot of people in the service industry, and that's how I got to know Connor, and that's how Mason got to be over here and to work here and or at Shorty's. It's just a nice little connection of community of people.
I used to come in here with like joggers and a fucking tank top.
Oh, yeah, we used to come in here being feral.
Wanna try this new cocktail?
Yeah.
I was thinking if I needed to like wear like a button down or something.
No,
when I walked
yeah,
in here.
and do you get that a lot? Like people look at like what they're wearing and think that they're underdressed?
We'll have, I'd say, a more common thing is somebody to call and ask if we have a dress code.
Okay.
And we just laugh usually. We're like, no.
Yeah.
Stupid click on the phone.
I was like,
Are one of the nicest, restaurant bars downtown, if not the nicest.
Worst case scenario, we'll send you down to Shorty's if you're not dressed well.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's like a fun dynamic. But do you guys get
We have to do that a lot.
do you guys get just Court Avenue drunks stumbling in here?
Oh,
like,
weekends?
this isn't
Oh,
the place
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
them having the social awareness to realize that isn't the most common thing, but
Yeah.
we
So
definitely
they
get
do-
them in
so
here.
they
Yeah.
do come in here.
Yeah, and it's usually not a problem. A lot of times
Yeah.
they just want food.
Right.
And they usually order food and then leave.
Or do you think that they stumble in here drunk looking for Shorties and they walk in through that door and they're like,
Oh, what's
whoa.
this?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's regular people.
Yeah.
They stumble like we'll be closing.
Where's the
up here
Island of
at
Misfit
RōCA,
Toys
and
at?
that door's still open because Shorty's is open much later than RōCA. We'll keep that door open because people do wander in from the street.
Yeah.
But it's like you do get that one. It's just like, where the fuck is Shorty's?
Yeah.
Right? When they get in here.
Do you guys close on the weekends?
11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, the kitchen closes at 11.
Mm-hmm.
The bartenders have leadway on when to close after that.
Right.
And
There's never
yeah.
anybody in here just for drinks because we are way more of a restaurant than a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like late night, it's just not where people go for the most part. And so, if we have a couple hanging out at 11 o'clock, we might let them hang out a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. We don't
But
really
we just
kick
don't get a
anybody
late
out.
night. We don't get like a
But,
late
yeah.
night crowd, really. And so we don't stay open too late for the drinks.
So
But
then
yeah.
how did you get this job, Connor? Because I know how he
Oh.
got it.
So, because I've been working here since I was 18, my mom was a server at RōCA, and they really needed a bar back, and she told me about it, and I was like, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. And I had never done a traditional interview in my entire life. So, like, my first job, I was selling T-shirts at sports tournaments. I got that job through a family friend. It was very unconventional. I just kind of started. One day I showed up and was working. My only other job besides that is at Zombie Burger at Jordan Creek Mall, right when they opened. And my best friend's mom was the opening manager. And so same thing there. I came in for my interview, and it was, when do you want to start? This is what you're going to be getting paid. So I'd never been like sat down and asked, like, what are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? And I come in here, and the manager at the time, Brian, actually, which doesn't matter. But like sat me down for like an actual formal interview, and he's like, so like, why'd you like, what makes you want to work here? And I was like, my mom told me to apply. not even
works
kidding.
here.
Not even realizing like how bad of an answer that is. And I went through the interview, didn't have any answers for like the typical interview questions, like, well, what are your strengths? I was like, I don't fucking know, man. I just want to work. Like,
I could squat like 240.
only reason I got hired is because they liked my mom, because they literally like called her and were like laughing at me. Like, he came in and said like my mom sent me in to apply. And that was like the first thing that he said. And yeah, started as a barback, super part-time for like the first 2 years. Really, it was just a little extra money.
Yeah.
And then I think I got really mad at my first job, the sports merchandising stuff, and quit. I didn't like walk out. I gave them my 2 weeks and said I'm done with you guys. So started barbacking full time. At some point, that slowly turned into bartending. It was like I was like 20 years old, I want to say, my first bartending shift back here. And then it just kind of slowly progressed.
So you never served here?
I've done some shifts. It's not my favorite.
Not in the conventional way.
No, I've done
least
some
not for
shifts
me.
because it's been needed. And that's about it. But
Okay.
Yeah.
there's a huge
It's like fill in.
difference in the mentality of a customer towards a server and a bartender.
Oh yeah.
And I even like at a place like this where it's not like I can just tell somebody to fuck off or anything.
Yeah, this is a nice
I
place.
have to be a little diplomatic about it, but I can still absolutely say I'm not serving you and you can get out of here.
Yeah.
Whereas servers don't have that choice, and they don't like people just talk to servers differently. They expect more. They expect a different level of attention. And it was just never my thing at all. And I don't like it as much. I like having the piece of
I
wood or
hate
granite
serving.
in between us.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. Yeah.
So when you started bar backing, and like, did you want to be a bartender after like seeing the bartenders? Because that is kind of like, you know, I don't know if it's just a downtown thing of like most of us start as a bar back when we want to be a bartender. Like I bar backed for 2 years before I like was even like, you know.
Before you had your foot
Right.
in the door. I mean, I kind of just fell into it. I didn't really know I wanted to do it. And I mean, at this point in my life, it's a career. I plan on one day trying to open up my own place or two or whatever. It's kind of what I feel I'm good at, and at this point, what I've spent my time doing. But I wouldn't say like I started bar backing and at the time was immediately like, oh, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. But once I started getting into the cocktails especially, I did sort of like really fall in love. Might be a little mushy, but I do like what I do. So.
Well, that is one thing that we've talked about all the time, is that like a lot of people, it's like this is kind of like a make or break industry. It's like you get into it and you either can do it really well, or you get into it and you're just gonna get by, or you're just gonna like just not be able to do it at all.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with any of those.
No,
Right?
not at all. But
there are
it's
so many people that are in the industry that are just in it for some side cash.
Right.
That's perfect.
That's like where I'm at with it
right,
now.
That's the right industry for you.
That's
if
how
you're
it
gonna be
starts
doing
off
it.
for a lot of people, I
Yeah.
think. It's like, oh, I can bar back or bartend here, you know, a couple days a week. And then they're like, oh, this is like really fucking good money, you know?
Yeah,
And
the
it becomes
money
a
is
full-time
undeniable.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make a career out of it, and we've always said that too, is that like a lot of people like don't see it as a career, or like shitty customers that come in and stuff like that, but this is like a very good career, and especially if you love it, like you love it, you know. It's something you never want to leave.
It's an
almost
industry that's never going anywhere.
right.
I really
Right.
don't foresee people replacing servers with robots on a grand scheme anytime soon.
No way.
Yeah, because people like that personal connection.
Right.
They like to have good conversations.
It will be.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, as things get.
Or they like to bitch at a person, not a robot. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Everybody's
too.
got their
Yeah.
different sides of the coin. Right?
Everybody's got their kinks. It's all right.
Jesus.
We don't king shame poor people, especially in, last one.
His shirt does say "choke me," and
It
then my
does.
name is.
You did
Oh yeah,
that.
we'll get a close up on that for
Ouch.
sure. Oh, you wrote that?
I wrote
Weird.
that.
Literally today.
I was trying to tell you that.
She
Follow.
did that today for a bit.
Okay,
wish.
so we gotta get into the Patreon. Is there any other topics that we want to hit?
No, I think we pinpointed a lot of them, and we just wanted to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day and
Yeah,
just
seriously.
explaining the knit and grit of RōCA. And I mean, like I said, we all, you know, we had a topic of what would be our next highest level of bartending for us would be, and I said cocktail
Yeah,
waitressing.
and
that, like,
I
you
would
guys-
agree too.
Liquor
Yeah.
For
rep,
me.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think we would all probably agree on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Only because you make it look so easy, and I'm
Right.
like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to have the patience to do all the prep and all this other extra stuff for
this is
drinks.
very intimidating to us.
Yeah.
as,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
Like, speed, like sports
Mm-hmm.
bartenders.
Yeah.
Like,
And like we talked about the differences, but like it's still just, it's so cool for me, especially. I'm probably speaking for all of us, but it's so cool to see just the way you guys craft these cocktails and like do all this crazy stuff that we're just like instead,
Yeah.
you know, like. But it's still,
It's my favorite thing to do, though.
it's so cool. And it's like, and that's the thing too, is like you guys can come up with new drinks and make your own drinks and put them into competitions and stuff where, you know, not a lot of bartenders can do that. And so it's just, it is something to like aspire to, and just, it's really fucking cool. You guys are
Cocktailing
here.
is really
Appreciate
cool. I
Yeah.
do love it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's get into our Patreon episode. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, all YouTube, all of that shit. And then we'll just wrap it up as we always do. Always wrap it up. You guys lead with the with the thing
All right,
that I
you
can
ready
never do.
for we're gonna take our empty glasses because the drinks were so delicioso.
They're so
For
good.
richer, for poor. Thank you for watching Poor People.
Poor people.
one day.
We'll get it. We'll get
I
it.
got a little sip left in there.
it's
I'm saving just for that, actually.
Right? Like ever.
Yeah.